Welcome to my Black Lake Campground video review. Black Lake Campground is located approximately 10 miles south of Clam Lake, Wisconsin. Some of the Black Lake Campground sites are reservable, and you can reserve and pay for those online at recreation.gov. For those of you who like to arrive on a first-come, first-served basis, there's a self-serve pay station not too far from the entrance to the park. I'm here on the 4th of July weekend, and it's noon on Saturday, and there are still several sites open, which sort of surprised me for a 4th of July weekend. I'll first show you some video from the drone. I'm taking off at the beach area, which has a nice clearing, nice enough for me to take off and land at, so I thought that would be a good starting point. And I'll do a loop around the lake just to give you some idea of what the lake's like and what the terrain is like around it. And I plan on doing some kayaking here this weekend, so it should be a lot of fun. So hope you enjoy the trip around the lake. Well, you can see why they call it Black Lake. There's a lot of tannins in the water, and at times it looks almost black, so I assume that that's probably where the name came from. Just past the campground's host site is a little bridge, and on the other side of the bridge is this estuary that runs up along the road on the east side, and it goes up quite a ways. I got up quite a ways with it in my kayak, and till I hit a beaver dam and decided I didn't want to try and wade around it, but it was a beautiful, beautiful little backwater. Going down the west side of the lake here, it's quite remote. I didn't see any roads or any sign of any landings or anything along this western edge. And there were a couple of big boulders that were sitting at the edge of one of the points there. And looks like a lot of nice little fishing spots up along the weed beds and up into this north cove that you see coming up ahead here. I had a little trouble coming up here. I was losing a signal to the drone, so I had to quick hit the return to home. And so the video's a little unstable in here for a few seconds, but then it'll stabilize up again as I come back down towards my takeoff spot. But sorry for that. I would have got that nice little north cove there, but I was running out of control signal. There is a really nice hiking trail that goes all the way around the lake. And this sign is posted just before Site 20, and it gives you an idea of what it is. There's a number of points of interest that they have along the way, and they have a brochure that points all of those points of interest out to you as you go around the lake. In the lower left-hand corner, we're just about adjacent to the campsite I had for the weekend, campsite number 25. There are two boat ramps in the campground. One is just beyond the host campsite and just before you go over the bridge. And it has a nice little loading dock. The second one is just before the loop for the second campsites, and it does not have a loading dock. This is the main boat ramp just past the host campsite, and it does have a nice little loading dock. It's not a real big ramp, but adequate for small boats, and it's got a concrete poured down into the water, so it's pretty stable. And this is the second boat launch. It is located just before the loop for the second group of campsites, and it's got a nice little parking area, and it's a small ramp, but also has a concrete pad into the water. So both of them are reasonable, I think, for small boats. Here's a map of the campground. The first three sites you see on the lower left, those are the walk-ins. Then you have the host campsite, the launch ramp. Then you go across the little bridge. You run down the straightaway, and there is sites 1 through 19. Just past those, on the left, is the second boat ramp. And beyond that, you go up around the loop. The first part of the loop has no sites on it. And then as you loop around and come back down, you'll find sites 20 through 26. The last three sites, 27, 28, and 29, are the three walk-ins that I mentioned earlier. Next, I'll give you a quick slideshow of all of those sites. Sorry I didn't get any closer on these walk-in sites, but they were occupied and I didn't want to get too close and invade anybody's privacy. But it gives you some idea as to how they are, and I'd have got right in the sites, but I didn't want to invade people's privacy. Last but not least, I'll give you a little aerial tour of my campsite for the weekend. I brought my kayak and mountain bike along for the weekend. I enjoy getting out on the water and going for rides around the campground and riding through some of the local trails. I haul all my gear in this utility trailer. It also has a bunk in it, and I usually will set up a tent as well if I'm staying for any length of time. But I'm traveling alone this weekend. I don't have the wife with, so I didn't bother setting up the tent. As you can see, I like to set up a really nice large tarp. I also have a screen tent that I set up over the picnic table. Underneath the tarp gives me extra shade and also lots of protection from the rain if we happen to have a rainy weekend. My site was located just 50, 60 yards from the lake. Had a nice little trail that went down to a little landing where I kept my kayak. My site was located right at the Narrows, and just south of my site was the second boat landing. You can see I have 200 watts of solar panels on the roof of the utility trailer. I have two 27 series gel cells that power my unit for refrigeration and lighting. Well, happy 4th of July weekend to you all. There's nothing quite as relaxing as sitting by an open fire in the evening after a good meal and a hard day at play. Here's to good old American independence. God bless and keep your travels safe. I hope you enjoyed my Black Lake Campground video presentation, and hope to see you again on the vlog.